Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know, my mustache is missing. He went on vacation for like 5 days, but he will be back. Don't worry. So today we're going to be reviewing a video that somebody put out criticizing Demi Lovato's coming out as non-binary.
I want to take this moment to share something very personal with you. Over the past year and a half, I've been doing some healing and self-reflective work. And through this work, I've had the revelation that I identify as non-binary.
And they've been getting a lot of backlash for it because you know how much people love to hate celebrities, especially when they come out as trans. Now, there's already been multiple hate videos on Demi Lovato coming out, but I want to focus on this one particular one that somebody sent to me. I think it was on Twitter or it was in my email. Thank you. So the video we'll be reacting to today is a video by a guy who refuses to call Demi Lovato by they/them pronouns. You know, because it's worth it to upload an 8-minute video on why you're such a big crybaby and won't call somebody they/them when it's been in the English language for a very long time. Now, I know some people aren't the biggest fan of Demi Lovato, but the main focus here today is non-binary discrimination and how disgusting people can be against somebody whenever they come out as non-binary. Alright, so let's see the nonsense that this guy spews today.
Happy Demi Lovato coming out as non-binary day. Woo! This is the BBC write-up of Demi Lovato, the pop star, changing her pronouns to they, them. That has been announced today. Now, of course, the BBC immediately have accepted this demand.
Maybe because they have bigger things to worry about than somebody using they/them pronouns. All you gotta do is say, oh, Demi Lovato uses they/them pronouns now? Okay, that's all good. In other news, 10 buildings burnt down today, and we saved all the people who were in them. Also, a news network being positive about somebody is always a good thing, because then it spreads positivity to other people instead of negativity, which just makes the world a worse place.
And are referring to Miss Lovato
Spiteful
as being they and them in this piece throughout. So there was a video put out.
This is 4D with Demi Lovato.
Where she makes this announcement, and the caption is, every day we wake up we are given another opportunity and a chance to be who we want and wish to be. I've spent the majority of my life growing in front of all of you. You've seen the good, the bad and everything in between. And you just sort of think, right, okay, well, whatever. But I want to say why this matters. I want to say why this should matter to all of you.
Yeah, I mean, you sort of just say whatever when you see this type of thing. Like, I said whatever, but then I got behind the camera because I was fuming mad. And this is why you should be very angry too.
I think the hilarious thing to mention, another star who did exactly the same thing, Sam Smith, well, he said in 2019 that he's not male or female, much in the same way as Miss Lovato has said today. And he says that he thinks he flows somewhere in between.
And yeah, I mean, Sam Smith came out as non-binary too, because there's not only one non-binary person in the world, there's a bunch of people who identify as non-binary. So it's not really a surprise that another celebrity is non-binary. I mean, if you think about the amount of celebrities and who's non-binary and who's not a very big percentage.
Now, without realising, he'd effectively and hilariously precluded his entry into the Best Male Artist category at the Brit Awards by doing so. He then told his Instagram followers, millions and millions of them, that he looks forward to a time when award shows can be reflective of the society that we live in.
Yeah. And why is that a bad thing? There's only men and women categories right now in award shows because trans people are minuscule. That doesn't mean you can't progress as a society. Like, for example, I would love to win Best Trans Person of the Year every year, and I will wait until they have that award ready because I know I'll win it. So bite me.
And you say, well, Demi and Sam, the good news for the pair of you intention-seeking misanthropes is that the 99% of Brits identify as either a man or a woman. We're not going to fundamentally alter our language because 2 pop stars have demanded it so.
Yeah, the 2 pop stars aren't the only people who identify under the trans umbrella. Now, I tried to look up the percentage of trans people in the USA or the UK. I couldn't find a solid answer, but they were all between 0.3 and 0.6%. So we're just going to give it a generous 0.45%, okay? And we're going to use the USA, for example. So there's 328 million people in the USA. Let's say 0.45% of them are trans. Now that comes to 1,476,000 Americans. Now that's still a lot of people, and I guarantee you So many people know what a transgender person is just from watching the news or watching TV or even knowing a trans person in real life. So I don't think it's really an odd request for someone to ask another person to use their preferred pronouns. I don't know, just a thought.
The Brit Awards, later said that their gendered categories were under review. And this, I know it doesn't matter at the end of the day. The Brit Awards is the Brit Awards. Who even watches it anymore? But the reason why I'm so concerned about this stuff is because it might seem like the sort of fantasy ideas of Tinseltown in which Hollywood celebs who aren't content with flitting in and out of rehab have to find new ways to get attention.
People don't find out that they're transgender and then come out to the world with it for attention. If you look at it this way, no, we're not seeking attention. The attention comes to us because you all treat us like we are some special alien. So if someone has a video where they say, I'm coming out as non-binary, you click it because you're interested, because it either makes you so angry or it's positive for you. So that means everybody's going to be clicking on that, whether they hate it or whether they love it.
But it all works and it all feeds through to the next generation. Demi Lovato is trending all over social media right now. She's a hot topic in a way in which her music, of late, simply hasn't put her.
All you have to do is take a quick Google search on Billboard. This is from a month ago. Demi Lovato's Dancing with the Devil debuts as #1 on Billboard's top album sales chart. But their music's doing bad, right? So they came out as non-binary for sales, even though this was a month ago. You're right.
As I say in that reporting of the BBC, the mainstream media as well, they've all immediately complied with the demands of the starlet to essentially, in my view, mutilate the English language.
No, I think you mutilated the English language. Can I get a playback of that, please?
To essentially, in my view, mutilate the English language.
Yeah, no. Sorry, that was all you, buddy. And by the way, nobody is mutilating the English language because the use of they, them as a singular pronoun has been around since, I don't know, the 14th century. You can read this little paragraph that I found online if you want, or you can even Google it because this will be very boring to talk about, but they, them has been around since the 14th century. Plus, if you were in middle school and read Dickinson or Shakespeare, you would know that. I don't understand what it is with these people and really hating those pronouns because at one point we have all used them in our life at least once. The only time I picture it being tough to use they for a single person is in a different language that isn't English.
And folks, if you dare not refer to Smith or Lovato as they, them, well, you'll face the wrath of the Twitter mob. They're waiting in the wings. They're armed with their isms and their phobias, ready to accuse you of being a hateful shite, a fascist, or literally Hitler.
Oh no, what are we ever gonna do if the Twitter mob comes for us? The reason people get attacked on Twitter is because they actually say some really, really bad takes. And that's when the whole mob comes out, swarms them with fan cams. Actually, you're scared of fan cams?
I'll even have people saying things like, oh, Darren, stop punching down. How can you be so cruel as a gay man to an oppressed minority? And to that I say, get over yourself. I say, how dare you make that comparison?
That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. You can hate on other people in the LGBT community and make fun of them and punch them down, essentially. And that's okay. And they have to get over it. Because, they don't count. You count, but they don't count. You know what? If you just got punched in the face for being transgender, get over it. This is why you get the Twitter mob on you. Because you say shit like that.
When I was a kid being smacked around on the playground for being different to the other lads, I was just trying my level best to get through each day. I wasn't demanding the world alter its language. I wanted to be free from what I perceived to be cruelty.
That's what trans people are doing too. They want to be free from the cruelty, except they have to come out to a little bit more extent than you do. Because they have to say, hey, I'm Jim and I go by he, him. Also, they're not demanding anything. They're informing people of their pronouns because they came out.
Whereas Lovato and Smith want to be free from truth. They want free from certainty and actuality. They want to deny those things.
You do know that people say the same thing about gay people, right? They say gay people are denying the truth. It's one man, one woman. It's in nature. It's in biology. It's in my Bible. So why are you using that argument against trans people? They'll say the same thing to you. They'll say it to all of us.
The bottom line is that Smith is a bloke and Lovato is a lass. And if you still think I'm being a little bit too harsh, consider this. In July of 2020, Lovato described herself as queer. In March 2021, she came out as pansexual and sexually fluid. And then in May 2021, as non-binary. In 2014, Sam Smith came out as gay. In 2017, he was genderqueer. Today, he's non-binary too.
Oh, it's almost as if these people were in the process of self-discovery, and then they finally came to the conclusion that they are in fact non-binary. That's what it sounds like to me. You're just proving their non-binariness more to me by saying those things.
This is puerile stuff. It's cartoon. The fact of the matter is, right, in my lifetime, all 27 years of it, this country has become a bastion and a beacon for freedom and liberty for gay men and women around the globe. I, like many gay men and women, and actually many trans people too, far beyond the very vocal minority, just wanted to be able to be accepted into society and live lives as boring as everybody else.
Yeah, that's the point. And coming out as trans doesn't change that. You're saying it's attention-seeking to come out as trans, but they come out as trans just to be like other people.
Those intent on stirring the pot, as, by the way, they do on the race issue too, are hell-bent on highlighting our differences to bring about divides in society, to push victim narratives. That's what keeps them going. That's what keeps these groups going. That's what keeps the attention going.
No. People are victims of hate crimes. So when they come out with their hate crimes where they got assaulted, or they're just being victims, they're acting as victims. What? I genuinely don't know what he means.
And no doubt by the time this video is over, I'll have been reported by several activists of a non-crime hate incident. Perhaps the coppers will come rat-a-tat-tat at my door because I dared call out the attempts by pop stars to make themselves and their lives seem a hell of a lot less dull than they really actually are.
Yup, and guess what? I'm the big bad activist rat-a-tat-tatting at your door.
Clearly, the awards, the trinkets, the fans, the money, the fame isn't enough to fill the void or the chasm in their lives, that they have to demand that we all forget about the tools of our language, built over goodness only knows how long, of grammar, and of course of biological reality and fact when it comes to sex.
The amount of recycled arguments that these people make is outstanding. They all say the same thing, and it's so impressive. It's almost like they only have one argument that's been debunked over and over again. I mean, we already talked about how them goes way back to the 14th century. But yeah, how dare they go against the English grammar that has been set back centuries and go against the facts.
I've got absolutely no problem if Lovato or Smith's mates want to call them they, them, or if they want to call themselves that. Fine, absolutely fine. But how dare you try and ask the rest of society to pander to this level of self-delusion? How stupid of the BBC and the rest of the mainstream media to pander to this stuff as well.
Newsflash, most people don't get their panties in a bunch when they have to respect a trans person. It's only the little angry baby ones that get mad about it. Sorry to break it to you, but people have other things to worry about than getting angry about somebody else's life. That's just how it is.
If we lose the consensus that society holds on the meaning of certain words, like male, like female, then we lose a hell of a lot more than just likes or retweets or followers on twitter.com. Male or female matter just as much as the words big or small, or black or white, and I think it would be foolish to deny that.
I love when transphobes say that we deny male and female. We've never denied that. We actually kind of promote it because we're trans. So it only makes sense. You people are way too easy. Too easy. Too easy, man. Come up with a better argument. You, Ben Shapiro, Caitlin Bennett, Steven Crowder, you all say the same thing. Please come up with a new argument. Something new. Something new for us to think for a second instead of laugh.
Can you imagine having to teach a class of kids without lurching into so-called transphobia by using him or her in a sentence? This is intersectionality becoming mainstream.
Dude, what are you even trying to say? They still use her and him in the classroom. And if there's a non-binary kid in the class, they'll say they. You have all the pronouns there.
This is Foucault on steroids. A virus, I think, that has infected our education system with identity politics placed as king.
You are the virus.
And I think, in a nutshell, and this is why I just won't go along with it, I won't accept that your identity box matters more than your character, the content of your character.
This dude is talking out of his ass. Your character is who you are, what you do, who you become, whatever. Being trans might be part of that character.
I think we're leading the next generation onto a path of nothing.
Actually, I think you're wrong, because the next generation is gonna kill it. Have you seen Gen Z? They don't give a fuck. They don't give a shit about anything. In a good way, though. They're all gonna be their own bosses. They're gonna be who they wanna be. They're gonna do what they wanna do. You know what else? Their kids are gonna be even more badass than they are. Sorry.
When we ought to be encouraging them that they can be someone as opposed to something.
Wait. Being transgender is being a thing? Yeah, you just defeated your entire argument, because when people come out as trans, they're encouraging people to be themselves if they are trans. And being trans isn't being a thing. I'm not a thing. I mean, some people would disagree, but I am a someone.
There will be no they, them pronouns used in my house, thank you very much, and I certainly won't acquiesce to any demands that we do so.
Wow, you seem like you'll be a great parent. Good job, dude. Really applaud you for that one.
I think we've got to actually stand up for our beautiful language, respect women, respect men, respect the fact that we have built these things over many, many years, the tools that we use to communicate.
It's just so funny because he's so wrong. Like, it didn't even take a second to Google how far back do they, them pronouns go. It took me like 5 minutes after a little bit of reading, and I figured it out.
And get real on this stuff. Say no to those that want to divide us. Say no to those seeking attention.
Or you can just be respectful and stop being a big baby. Alright, and that's how we ended the video, so we're gonna stop it there. But yeah, I guess that's really all I have to say about that guy, but don't let people like this discourage you in your self-identity and feeling comfort with yourself if you're trans. It's not worth it. You are who you are, whatever. People like this just suck. So, I'll see you all next week with a new video. Bye.